Why are Division II play-by-play jobs so hard to find? That's the question we'll address in this edition of Q&A with STAA. I'm John Chalesnik. The reason they're so hard to find is because they rarely turn over. I was curious about this question myself, have been for years, so I emailed several broadcasters in one of the Division II conferences, the MIAA. And here are some of the replies that they gave to me. These are not my hypotheses, though I do agree with some of what they're saying. The first reason there's rarely turnover is because the facilities and the fan support at the Division II level are usually pretty good at most schools. So they're good gigs to have. People don't want to leave those. So a lot of the broadcasters at the D2 level are in their 40s and 50s. They've been there a while, and they're probably going to be there for a while longer. The second reason that some of these broadcasters shared with me that they believe is a lot of the guys doing Division II are at their ceiling. And one broadcaster in particular said, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but it just may be that they're not going to get any better. The third reason that these broadcasters told me there's so little turnover at Division II is it's just so difficult to make the jump to D1. You've probably heard me reference in the past about writing the press release. Division I schools have to be able to sell their new play-by-play guy to the fan base. And it's harder to sell somebody coming from Division II than it is if they're coming from another Division I school, even if they were just the women's basketball voice at that D1 school. So there's a lot of talented broadcasters at D2 who maybe just don't get the chance because it's difficult to write the press release. They don't hold the same weight in the eyes of the decision makers as doing anything with Division I attached to it. Again, that's the thought of some of these broadcasters that I polled. So I've got 3 suggestions for you. If you're trying to make the move from D2 to D1, the first, always be improving. It sounds trite, but nobody's ever hit their ceiling unless they stop trying. So always be improving. Second thing, never take a game off. You don't know who's listening. Somebody might be driving through your community hearing you for the first time and think, whoa, I love this guy. So never take a game off. And then my third suggestion, if you want to try to move up to D1, and this probably should have been listed first, but build relationships. It's so much more often about who you know than what you know. So when that D1 job comes open, make sure you've got some people in your corner that are willing to go to bat for you. In our next edition of Q&A, we'll address the question, how can I best prepare for a play-by-play broadcast on short notice? If you would like to have a question addressed in an upcoming episode or edition of Q&A with STAA, email it to me, qa@staatalent.com.